Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the 22nd Annual Awards of the Genius. To begin with, let me introduce myself. My name is Anand Wilfred, and Uncle here is my father. Now, Fleur, my wife, and I run the Vijayanagar and the South Tukoganj branches of the Genius. And together with Uncle, we make all the content for all three branches and train the mentors for all three branches. So it's been a lovely evening so far, hasn't it? I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. It's amazing. It always amazes me what your children can do with less than 50 hours of practice. Your children truly are talented. It's been a wonderful year for the Genius this year. All three branches have done really well. In fact, the Tukoganj branch that we've started this year has done so well that we are having to move it to a larger premises in Whitechurch Colony.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. I'm very happy to be here before you once again. This is an annual pleasure and a privilege for me. And this time I'm glad that Anand is also with me. As Anand said, the Genius is indeed growing. We've been doing extremely well. Things are fine with us. And now we are moving to larger premises in Whitechurch Colony. And I hope things will only get better thereafter. Now let me talk about a couple of small things. One is, there are parents who complain that their children refuse to speak English at home. Now this is not unusual. You see, firstly, the only language the children hear in this city of Indore, in the home, in the school, and on the streets of Indore, is Hindi. Unfortunately, this is becoming a monolingual state. Whereas at the Genius, because you put them in English medium classes, at the Genius, we try to make them speak in English. And I must tell you, I've been doing this for 22 years. And the English language has become the total lingua franca of the Genius. And it has become the traditional language, and there is no problem for us. All your children speak in English when they are with us. Now, you can get your children to also use English at home. If you will occasionally use the language with them, please understand that to most children, English is a foreign language and it is not acceptable to them. Now, we speak English at the Genius, they speak it out here. But at home, if you're not using English at all, and if they don't hear the language enough in school, then how do you expect children to speak in English? They are more comfortable naturally in their mother tongue, the language in which you speak. So if parents will occasionally use a little bit of English, it will definitely make a difference. I hope you follow what I am telling you. You don't have to change your mother tongue. I don't want English to be the lingua franca of homes where Hindi has to be the main language. Use it occasionally. Like if you want your child to get to bed soon, so say that to him in English. Get to bed now. It's time. Have time for dinner. Or let's go. Okay, if you can keep using a little bit of English, the language becomes psychologically acceptable. All right, the next thing that I need to talk to you about is, you see, parents ask very often when we meet them. In fact, those parents who come regularly to meet us every month, we normally don't have problems like this, but other parents do ask us what we do at the Genius. What do we exactly do? In fact, when they ask their children, they say, the children don't give them any response. They say, "Hum game khel ke aaya, aaj quiz khela." You see, that's about all the answer they get. And there is a very good reason for this. You see, what we have done is, from the very beginning, we've been only playing games with children. We have games devised for all the different activities that we have. You see, we have provided the Genius as a sort of a forum, a platform, where children can pull their talents out and display it for the world to see. Then they realize that they do have some talent. So we have all these different games focusing on the different aspects of a child's requirements, focus on new ideas. Children require to develop the ability to reason logically. They must be adept at rapid mental calculation. Now, even mathematics can be taught through a game. It is fun. They don't realize that they are learning maths at all. They don't realize that they are learning the ability to calculate. Then vocabulary, public speaking. We have games, different games for developing public speaking. Children become public speakers without knowing it. They don't know what is the meaning of stage fright at all as a result of that. And quick thinking. And to children, these are just games. It's fun. Okay? So they will not be able to tell you exactly what we do.
If you would like to better understand what we do at the Genius, you can visit the branch that your child goes to on any Saturday between 4 and 6. We love it when parents come by. In fact, we tell all our parents that you should come by at least once a month. The closer you keep in touch with the mentor of your child, the better it is for your child and the better it is for us too. Because you can come, you can speak to the mentor about your child's progress. You can find out the activities that have happened in class lately and what the purpose behind each of them is. Because like Uncle said, like Dad said, each activity has some particular reason and purpose behind it. You can give us feedback and you can tell us if there is anything that we ought to know about your child. Okay, so please visit the branches regularly. Please keep in touch with the mentors. It really helps your child. Another thing you can do to find out about what's happening at the Genius is visit our Facebook page. We put up updates on events that happen. We have an information section with info about all our programs. You can even see pictures of things that have happened at the Genius lately. Okay, there is a Genius YouTube channel also now. So you can visit that to see videos. For instance, the annual function videos will be up on the YouTube channel shortly after this. Okay? Or you could read Uncle's blog. Now, he puts up puzzles and brain teasers here quite regularly, and he also writes articles with his insights and opinions.
Yes, that's right. And by the way, Anand, you can call me Dad. You can refer to me as Uncle, as the whole world refers to me as Uncle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one important thing that we have been doing to ourselves is, you see, it's been said that a good teacher, or for that matter, in our case, a good mentor, must make himself or herself redundant. Redundant means not required. That is, the manner in which we develop our children should be such that the children shouldn't need us at all thereafter. And that is exactly what we try to do. See, we want, over 2,500 years ago, I think, Socrates had said that people should become self-learners. In fact, he very clearly says, when a child asks a question, or for that matter, when a student asks a question, take him to where answers are found. Show him the way to find answers. Do not give him the answers. Do not give the answers straight. See, that is the reason why we require that you, parents at home, help out by sparking and fueling their curiosity, and so that they come up with queries about new things, new knowledge, new skills, and then show them where answers are found. Provide them a library at home if necessary, and show them how to process and turn information into knowledge.
So to help with this, we show children how to use the usual reference sources, that is dictionaries, thesauruses, encyclopedias, atlases. But parents, there is one reference source out there that we can't really help your children with, but you can. Now, what I'm talking about is the storehouse of the world's knowledge, the internet. The internet is coming into almost every home nowadays, right? And this is a great thing. Because it really is the vastest, it's a nearly infinite reference source. There is information on just about any topic under the sun you could care to name. Not only that, you can get the opinions and insights of the brightest minds of the time on the internet. And apart from that, there are self-learning tools on there. As an aid to self-learning, the internet is truly beyond compare. Actually, when I was researching for this presentation, I came across a quote from a famous science fiction author, Arthur C. Clarke. He says, any teacher that can be replaced by a machine should be. I don't know whether he was thinking about the internet when he came up with this, but let me tell you, the internet can give many a teacher a run for their money. So, because on the internet you can find guides on how to learn just about anything, from how to tie your shoelaces or how to iron a shirt, to how to cook, how to do pottery, even up to explanations for complex scientific or mathematical concepts. Okay?
That's right. You see, actually what we are trying to do at the Genius is to prepare them to be global citizens. In fact, again, I should be quoting Socrates, because Socrates had said that he used to call himself a citizen of the world. Yeah, by the way, there is what is on the screen now is about computers and the internet. I'll come back to the global citizen story. And while internet is a great thing, there is anything that has great power carries great responsibility. And the internet, if left to children unsupervised, in fact, someone had asked for advice on how to buy a laptop for a child in kindergarten. Now, you can't be buying a laptop for a child in kindergarten. What you do is, you can let that child use your laptop, but under your supervision. You see, at home, if you have a proper desktop, put it in a place where there is a little traffic, where there is movement of people, so that you can always see what is on the screen. Do not, but I would like every child, right from kindergarten upwards, to have access to the internet and to have access to the computer. This is important. Parents, please take this seriously. Now let me get on with the story of the global citizen. See, we are truly trying to make our children into citizens of the world. Now we are becoming a global society. India is moving very fast into, at a very fast pace into becoming a global state. And people are traveling everywhere. People are getting accustomed to all kinds of foods and dresses and culture. Now in this, when I come across a little boy or a little girl who in a discussion stands up and says, when he refers to people of one particular religious group, he says, I hate those people. The word hate, not expected of a civilized citizen. Or when you're talking about countries of the world, I hate the people of Pakistan, they're all bad people. Now, is it true? Are all the people of Pakistan bad? And is it true that all the people of India are good? I think parents need to think very seriously on this. And children don't invent prejudices. Prejudices normally are taken from others. The common prejudice I have noticed among boys is they think that all girls are stupid. It's very true. A large number of boys think so. And this is again an idea that has been picked up from some home. And of course, you have the ubiquitous Bollywood which tells us that it is only gore gore gal which is beautiful. Now you have to help your children to understand these things. Because if we are going to be a global society, these kind of prejudices would be considered uncivilized. And I think it is not difficult. It's very, very easy to bring up children without any prejudices. See, while political correctness and advanced cultural beliefs are necessary, these will be acquired by children only if there is parental involvement in their development at home. So I hope parents do think of all these things, and please remember that watching television together with your children is not quality time. In fact, parents should be reading to children, reading with the children, talking about different things, having a lot of conversation, both parents and if possible even the grandparents. You see, please spend a lot of time with your children, because it is always observed that those are the children who really do well. But I must tell you, if your TV is on at home a good part of the time, and if you are too busy to give your children attention, time, and conversation, please remember that we at the Genius may not be able to help them at all. In fact, when you see all these children carrying loads of prizes, you see some children carrying big bundles and some children carrying tiny bundles. Those who carry the larger bundles are probably children who are getting a lot of support at home. Say the Genius can make only a very small difference. The children spend a lot more time with you at home and a lot more time elsewhere in school. So please help out by giving your children personal quality time and attention. I would now like to request mentor Priya Jaju. She has a few small thoughts to share with you, and which I hope would be of use. Yeah, come. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Priya Jaju.
A very good evening to all of you. I'm Priya Jaju, and it's truly an honor here representing the Genius in front of all of you. As a mentor here, I can very well say that the little things we do here can bring about big changes in your child. But for that, we need your support and cooperation as well. The first and the foremost, I would advise all of you to please encourage your kids to read books. And not only read books for that matter, but also value and respect them. They should be punctual and regular Because the kind of work we do here, the variety we do here is so good that even if they miss one day, they lose a lot. I would also advise you all to please be in constant touch with the mentors and visit them at least once a month. When the parents are more involved, mentors are in a better position to deal with the kids. Also, they should carry their notebooks and pencils regularly to the Genius, as it would certainly enhance their learning. And last but not the least, TV watching should be supervised, because the time and energy they waste there, if they channelize it for their growth and development, it would certainly be of great help. Thank you all for trusting us with your children, and we hope to bring out many more geniuses in the coming years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. So we see children change in front of our eyes every year. We have kids come to us who are very shy, very timid, and by the end of the year, we find that they are fearless public speakers. Or we find children who come to us who have no idea what book to take home the first time they are lent one because they haven't read any books before. And by the end of the year, they are voracious readers, devouring anything they can get their hands on. Now, the children in whom we see the most change are inevitably children who come from supportive families. This year, there is an example that I'd like to share with you. There are children in our 3rd and 4th standard groups this year who have developed a love for the stories of Shakespeare. Now, something like that, I think, is amazing. And we see, this is just one example, we see examples like this every single year. But like I said, it's inevitably children from supportive families. So like Uncle was saying, it's not just quality time that's important, it's also the quantity of time.
That's right. It is the quality of the time, the quality and also the quantity of time that you are giving your children. And at this point, there is one final and very positive observation I should make. And that is, see, when I started the Genius 22 years ago, people who came for registration for their children here to attend the Genius would take up the form and start filling it up. And there is a little question there, a place where you write in which class the child is in school. And the parent would pick up his cell phone, call up his wife, and say, "Munna kis class mein hai?" Or some question of that kind. I used to wonder at the time, here's a father who doesn't know which class the child is in. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me, there is almost a sea change in this. I find fathers and even grandparents are totally involved in their children. I know a large number of families where grandparents have stopped watching television themselves because they don't want their grandchildren to watch them. You see, earlier I had a mother literally crying tears down her cheeks saying that she could not do anything because मैं बच्चे को रोकता हूँ तो वो दादी माँ मुझे डांटती है. You know, that sort of culture. Now that is beginning to change, and I'm glad it is beginning to change. And I wish you all the best. I hope you will continue to support your children in the manner in which you've been doing it. And with you and we and your children together, I think we can really do wonders. And I hope we can continue to do this for a very long time to come. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.